Well, howdy folks. Charlie with Typewriter Justice here, and what you see before you, this vision of beauty, this lovely, crisp, angular, yet handsome beast of a machine is one that flies under most people's radar. And I think they're great, so I thought I would do a video on this one while I still have it here to do a video with, because it's not mine and it's going back to its owner soon. And this is not a configuration I've seen before, and I don't know how long it's going to be before I see one again. This is a classic 12 correction version, which I think just meant that it shipped with the nasty white correction on the bottom, regular ink on the top, ribbon, and it's got the fancy half spacer so you can do your half spacing correction stuff on the fly, kerning, if you will. That's probably some word nerd's going to get mad at me for saying kerning and using it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. It's where you can squish words together to make it fit because, oh, you left out a letter or you put too many letters in. So you correct over it with moving it to the white setting. Yeah, because it was the white setting. But yeah, we don't use those ribbons anymore. Yeah. So the Galaxy class, the Galaxy class machines, the SMCs, it's kind of the final evolution of the floating shift line. You know, it dates all the way back to the 1930s. I think it was 1930, actually. I may be wrong. I don't know. Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong a lot. But, you know, hey, we live and learn. Yeah, the floating shift line started off in the 1930s, and, you know, this thing still got a lot of the same guts as those machines from back then. And this one, even though the exact serial number is not on the typewriter database, because the initial designation is different, the letters, the numbers make it seem like it's going to be 1964. So I'm just going to call it a 1964. It looks like the other 1964s. And, you know, this one, it's got the fancy wood grain. You know, I love me some wood grain. Because it's just cool. What was I saying? Oh, squirrel. Huh. Anyway, the guts are remarkably similar. You know, a lot of stuff had changed. The escapement is almost completely different. Because, I mean, look, you know, you got a power spacer. You're not going to find a power spacer on a flat top. And if you do find one, then that's some Frankenstein stuff. You know, the escapement's a little bit different, and the spring drum's different, and there's some other minor changes in there too, but like the actual motion, the shift motion, the key arrangements, the cantilevered bit that they stole from whoever they stole it from, was it Seidel and Naumann? I think it was Seidel and Naumann. I don't know who did it first. Somebody tell me who did it first. But, you know, the bit that keeps the key tops parallel to the table as you go. That's all the same. There's much more. They say to look for the similarities rather than the differences. And dude, the similarities abound in these. They're just as good as their predecessors, even if they look a little different. I think they look just fine. I love them. They're nice and crisp. They've got this cool little angular ribbon cover that on the Galaxies, they swoop forward like the doors in Star Trek, right? And on this one, it just pops right off, which is kind of cool. I mean, you don't normally see that. It's, you know, that sliding door arrangement kind of makes them a pain in the butt to work on if you got to take that thing off. But this is just free and easy. I love it. Let's flip it over and show you the power spacer, because that's really the thing I wanted to show off, because they're just cool. Well, I mean, and the overall just ooh and ah factor. Yeah, I have the bottom taken off of this one just to be able to show off that power spacer. And I grab my handy dandy little straw, because this right here, that floppy, wobbling thing right there, that's your power spacer. That's what makes it make the power. Look at that. It just flops back and forth. Yeah. Pretty slick. Really slick, actually. There's some cool engineering going on in there. Fun machines. And I suppose I ought to do a type test with it, because this is one of my videos, and I do type tests. And this is Smith Corona Classic 12 MLG. See, that's the prefix that doesn't line up on the typewriter database. They don't have an MLG listing on there. 136853W, because it is a wide carriage. And this one, I believe, types 10 characters to the inch. And in order to match the lovely caramel brown, chocolate brown, light brown, I don't know, and orange pinstripe, I put in a brown over orange ribbon in this one. And I'm going to show you what she do. Oh gosh, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Yeah, that brown's just nice. Now is the time for all good humans to come to the aid of their planet. With the orange, I think it's a pretty darn good fit for this lovely machine. And having that paper in there kind of shows off the difference between the white and the cream, because this looks like white at first glance, but it's really not. And I think that's part of what makes it such a handsome machine. Anyway, there you go. 64, I think. I don't know. Typewriter database. Tell me true. You know, these are darn good machines. And that's a darn good specimen of the breed. Wood grain and all. Love it. Later.